Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the approximate region where Attila the Hun had his camp, his main camp, and the seat of his empire. I am Marcus Aurelius, and this is Total War Attila, the Eastern Roman Empire, and history. And let us see here. You, sir? Egypt is pretty happy, so let's send you to our new lands.
For Rome.
Yes, indeed, for Rome.
I have done my duty.
Yeah, Egypt is still growing by 5 in terms of happiness.
How can I serve the people of Rome?
You are, fixing things in this territory, especially now that Trapezus is still on the way. And actually, the fields can be updated to... Should I do sheep or cattle? I'm not going to do fields because the soil is not that fertile. We currently... Oh, we have tons of sanitation. Okay. Tabernae. Oh yeah, I think we're going to turn that into a food market. Actually, no, I think we might just get rid of that. I don't know. We definitely don't want a wine market or a slave market. Well, maybe a wine market. That'll increase squalor and decrease public order, but we might just be able to handle it. Well, we will as soon as the aqueduct is updated anyway. We might just want fishing jetties. I'm not sure if we have to have control of the sea in order for that to be worthwhile. More lead. That would lead to a ton of squalor. Holy moly. Squalor we can just barely afford if we don't build anything here. Nah. How about just... a baptistry would actually be interesting. We have the money to afford the maintenance costs of church buildings, and it will help public order and improve Greek Christianity. That would be interesting. The only other option would be local industry, which might be able to work well with the lead. Let's see. Yeah, 10% from industrial buildings. And I don't think ports count as industrial buildings. And I don't think tabernae count as industrial buildings. So I would need to do local industry here and probably here to make the most of the lead. And the construction cost is down for sanitation buildings, which is great too. Alright. We're going to let this place stay where it is. But I kind of want to move these guys down here. How much of their public order is from local military presence? 7. Ooh. And they are currently positive... It doesn't say here. 24. That should be fine. Let's head down to Amida. Oh yeah, especially with the priest here doing his thing. We should be fine. Up 15. Yeah, a few turns I'll be perfectly happy. Plus, once the aqueduct is upgraded, this town is upgraded. And the purpose for doing this is to... Oops, no, not that. Not that either. Oh, right, here he is, up here. Is to give this gentleman some range troops. Particularly elite Ballistieri. And I guess we don't have elite Sagittari. What do we need for that? Where is our technology? So armored Sagittari would be here, which we cannot get until we do weapon manufactories, which will take 8 turns. which is probably our next step. That or state construction program, which is fortified town, a metropolis, and a mint. That would be useful. The Praeventores, not that useful. In this series, we'll never get the Magister Militum, unfortunately, which is sad. Or the Tagmata, or the Eastern Auxilia Palatina. Interesting, I did not know that there was a replacement for the Lanciare Signores. Alright, well, we're going to let this finish. And then we are going to do this, and then do this. But by that point, I think the series will be over. We're getting there. So 2 Elite Ballestiari, and 2, I guess, regular Sagittari, and we will get rid of our Persians. So this is a pretty good stack. I think maybe 1 unit of siege engines, and we're good to go. And we have this guy, who I guess is going to move back and get some more cavalry. What's the upkeep on these guys? 185, so if I got rid of 2 of them... They aren't very necessary. Alright. And then we have this gentleman here, the Kings of Axum. He's our defensive army. He will be defending. What we'll be doing over here, now that Hira are our allies, or the Lockmids, I should say. Well, first of all, we should kill these guys. That's pretty dumb, having a army just there. I was going to say we're going to move to the east, sack these cities, and then finally have the ultimate battle at Mashan, and we'll try to subjugate the Persians from there. Of course, it looks like they have Saraf, too. They have so many cities. Let's see, can you make it? I don't know if you get close enough. No, he can't. Let's let them come after Hira first. In the meantime, I think we could probably snap Susa. So this is a full 20 stack. They're both full 20 stacks. Okay. We have some mercenaries here. Actually, the upkeep's not that high. Rufinus! What are we doing with you? Have the rebels been hurt? Looks like they have a little bit. How are things in Ajax? We could get a Thermi, which will improve public order even more. Well, by 1. What are we currently? We're up positive by 4, but that's due to military. Oh, yeah, it is. Holy moly. And they're currently at 34. It'd be revolting in about 3 turns. I don't think there's anything we could ever do to make Ajax happy, so let's just hope that the garrison is able to hold off any problems, because I want to fight. So what we're going to do is we're going to send Rufinus home. And next turn, we're off.
What does Rome require of me?
Kings of Axum.
Set up the watch. To your duty.
You're just defending.
Ready for battle.
Saviors of Rome. You're kind of the same thing. This place needs you to be happy, although a bathhouse would help slightly. And a colonia, or a town, I should say. A town would give us a lot better garrison, more wealth and road development. a little bit more public order, not really a lot. And would put us in the negative. No, it wouldn't. We'd still have a little bit of sanitation left, which we could always update the bathhouse. Local industry. Alright. Just because this might be a hotspot later, who's to say?
Ready for battle. What does Rome require of me?
Ready for battle.
And you. Not much for you to do, honestly.
At once. We cannot follow this order.
You were just making sure that the West is safe, although it is pretty safe. We're trading with Aquileia. We're okay with the Ostrogoths. Are we trading with the Ostrogoths? We cannot. Oh, right, because it has to be their capital that we border. Which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but so it goes. Although it looks like they're about to attack our western brothers. Alright, 4,000 left. Where should I spend it? Where do I need to spend it? We're pretty good here. Might want to do a scriptorum. We'll lose public order, but gain wealth and research. Probably don't want to lose public order. How's our food situation? Ah, let's upgrade this to a wheat farm. That makes sense. Alright. So, in the year of our Lord, 449, the desperate Eastern Roman Empire attempted to assassinate Attila the Hun. And that is where the only first-hand Roman account of Attila and the Hunnic court comes in. The fragmentary history of Priscus, of Pannonia. Or Panion, I should say, not Pannonia. An educated Roman who went with the Roman embassy to Attila's court. Priscus and his boss, a guy named Maximinus, were not aware of the assassination plot, which was actually hatched back in Constantinople. Yeah, okay, I'll take 2,000 gold for peace. That sounds like a great deal.
Your heart and love for your people.
So in Constantinople, there were two visitors from Attila's court. There was a former Greek named Orestes and a Hun called Edecon. He's referred to by Priscus as a Scythian, though that's just what they referred to all those guys. Alright. Gaetulians, I thought we were buddies. I thought we were friends. Ooh boy. Should I fight this out? I mean, we're in no shape to take on an army this large, although they've been beat up a little bit. A lot of infantry. Amazigh spearmen? Can't really see what they're like. Mercenary lancers. Well, we can certainly hurt them. So Edecon the Hun and Orestes the Greek. And Edecon was taken aside by the emperor's personal chamberlain, a eunuch by the name of Chrysaphius. And during this meeting, Edecon was offered by Chrysaphius a large sum of gold in order to kill Attila. And he actually agreed to do this. So, this assassination attempt, of course, failed, as the first thing Edecon did when he arrived in Attila's court, with the Roman embassy along with him, was to tell Attila what was going on. Obviously, Attila's men were afraid of him, and also loyal to him. Sure, why not? Well, we do have an Eastern Armored Legio. That should be worth something. Oh boy, this is another one of those situations where they can attack from higher ground. You know what, let's put our Eastern Armored Legio there. And our Lanciarii Senioritas here. And our cavalry. Wow, I guess there really is nowhere to put them. I guess there, and then we'll march them out into the trees and hope for the best. So that leaves our Marines. There they are. Alright. So you land as well. You up in the trees, please. So at the point that Attila figured out what was going on, his tone to the Roman embassy and to the completely unknowing Priscus and Maximinus changed. And they were incredibly confused, right? Because they had no idea about the plot. Really? You're coming after us with your mercenary camels. That's interesting. I think I can take you. Alright. You guys come up here. Let's see how we're doing. I know camels are distressing to horses. Yeah, it appears that that was a bad move. Or wait, no it wasn't. I'm sorry. I'm looking at their guys. Looks like a good move, actually. You guys coming? Oh, man. Not again.
The tower has been totally destroyed.
Well, that stunk. This one's probably going to be a loss, folks. Here comes the general. If we could kill the general, that would be fantastic. And our Marines, both units are fleeing. I would too, after being charged by two different sets of Lancers. So long story short, Attila made it known that he was aware of the plot. The Roman who was the point man of delivering the gold to pay Edecon, his name was Bigilus, and he was accused by Attila. And they're attacking us from behind. There's nothing we could do about that.
The enemy is going for our general. Protect him.
We're pretty much done for. Just not enough men to make it happen. And they were a bit more intelligent than the previous group. We still might be able to take out their desert chieftain, but doesn't look likely. We're surrounded. So Attila ordered that Bigilus' son, who was traveling with his father, be killed. Bigilus broke down and confessed his wrongdoing. And Attila, in a strange show of mercy, did not have him killed, but held him for ransom and sent his son back to get the 50 pounds of gold to ransom his father. All this, however, takes place much later, after Attila met with and dined with Priscus and Maximinus, and sent them on their way back to Constantinople. Yeah, I'd be losing faith too. Yeah, we've lost Africa. That's alright. We'll be back when we're safer. Oh look, our cavalry. Forgot all about them. Not that they're going to save the day or anything, but... So at this dinner that took place in Attila's camp with Priscus and Maximinus, Priscus described Attila as very modest in his clothing and his bearing. He also ate and drank with wooden utensils, wooden dishware, while his guests were served with expensive silver platters and silver chalices, or goblets. Attila was a shrewd politician and very carefully seated everyone at this dinner in such a way that it was based on their rank and their honor. And so Priscus describes very different people when he's talking about Attila and the Huns than Ammianus Marcellinus. Priscus describes them as being far more intelligent and sophisticated. After this point, though, aside from Bigeloss's tale, Priscus has no more useful information, really, to give us about Attila and the Huns, because at that point he leaves their camp and goes back to Roman lands. What in the world? What is this thing on this? Some kind of weird texture effect. Cavalry, what are you doing exactly? Charge the light brigade here. Oh cool, they threw javelins. I guess that texture effect is supposed to symbolize wetness, like on the building. Oops. And that was that. Our main group is wavering. The Desert Chieftain is still at half strength. We took out a few Lancers. I'm proud of that. So at this point, this is where the history of Attila and the Eastern Romans ends. Having to choose between continuing to attack the East or the West, the situation with the Western Empire Valentinian and his sister Honoria compelled Attila to go west. Emperor Marcian, who was the emperor of the East, refused to pay Attila the tribute that up till that point they were paying to him. And before he could do anything about it, Attila died in his bed in 453. Alright, that's... Oops. I don't want to... Yeah, oh, here we go. So according to Priscus, Attila died of a hemorrhage, basically a nosebleed, and he was so drunk and not exhausted, but just out of it, I guess, that the nosebleed went down his throat and choked him to death. And we took out 2 units. Woo! In more recent times, some historians have suggested that Attila's death was orchestrated by the Eastern Emperor Marcian, although many, if not most, historians believe Priscus's report. And that's all for today, ladies and gentlemen. Next episode, hopefully we'll get back to winning battles, although again, Africa wasn't that big of a loss. We really didn't need it. And it looks like we've received our reward for completing the technology research, so now our research rate is 20% for civil developments, which is not very useful because it's only for 2 turns, and we're going to be researching military, but hey, you know, whatever. So once again, I'm Marcus Aurelius. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.